Everyone. Day 2 of the web blog. Got the site up and working, fixed some things. Apparently they had fat fingered my server space and only put in 50 megs, and it's supposed to be more than that. So now I'm up and running. I got more stuff on there. Hope you're enjoying it. I know there's one specific person out there who's watching. Hi. See, I made it all about you just then. Rain, rain, rain. I took a shower today and brushed my teeth. See? Yeah, because I don't do that much since I'm home and unemployed. So I spend a lot of my days looking for jobs. If any of you out there know anything, I'm trained in theater as an actor. I could be a production assistant. My ideal job would be working for a film studio, doing administrative stuff until they need me on a set to run around and pick up lattes or whatever. I don't care. I think I would find that much more interesting than sitting at a desk and doing work for an industry that I have no interest in excelling in or going up the ladder in. But my research has turned out that that job doesn't really exist except in fantasy land. So now I'm looking for contract administration jobs or just administration jobs or something along those lines, because unfortunately my skill set doesn't necessarily translate to everyone, even though I have fantastic skills. Sell. But I don't want to be a salesperson. Last night I had a really creepy dream. I dreamt that me and my boyfriend were sitting and we were talking to Bobby Bones, who is a DJ here in Austin. He has the Bobby Bones Show. I'm not quite sure why he was in my dream, because I haven't really listened to his show since I've been out of work, because I listened to it on the way into work. Anyway, we were sitting at dinner and he offered me a job at his radio station, which was really exciting. And so I was going to take it, but then the next thing I remember is everyone started turning into werewolves. Everyone around me. I remember that more as an image, but at one point I walked into an office and there were two people sitting there and they were like halfway through the transition. So they had like dog noses and stuff, but they were talking and you know, they were coherent and weren't attacking me. So politely I was like, well, I think you should just lock the doors and sit here and wait for them to come back and get you. And they were like, that's a good idea. And so I shut the door, walked through a little alleyway into where Bobby Bones was. Again, he appears again, and I tell him, I'm like, we have to leave now. There are two people turning into werewolves, and they're coming for us. And he was like, sure. And this other guy was like, but you have to do this, you have to do this. And so he was like, well, I have to do this. And I was like, well, I'm leaving. And I remember running out the other side of the like shed building he was in. And I think I had to stop for a car to pass, but then I ran across the street, and then there was this big grassy knoll, but it was on like columns, so there was this big canyon all the way around it, and I remember having to jump across that to get away. And as I was leaving the shed that the other two people were in, I heard the other two werewolf people burst through and attack them, and so I got away. The end of the story was kind of weird because I remember standing in like a room and there was like plastic hanging up, kind of like creating a walkway, and I was covered in blood, and people were touring the area like, oh, this is the place where everyone turned into werewolves and killed each other, and kids were buying souvenirs and had makeup on like they were werewolves and chasing each other around. So it was like they thought it was all fun and games, like it was entertainment, and it wasn't real to them. And I remember thinking that, and I just thought it was a really odd concept for a dream, that I would actually kind of have this, you know, overall cynical view of our society, which I do think that is our society. I think with, you know, the war, people don't understand the ramifications of it because it's not here, and, you know, the military families are feeling it because some of them are losing theirs, or some of them have, you know, their fathers, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, whatever, in hospitals missing limbs and stuff. So it's kind of like we watch it and people comment on it as if it's not this horrible atrocity that's going on in society right now. Anyway, there's my deep thought for the evening. Let's see. What else? I don't know. I had this idea that I might start doing, but I'm not going to do it right now, and it's called My Apology. I have this horrible problem of there are certain instances in my life where I remember being really mean to someone, and it kind of haunts me, and I guess I deserve it because it's my own punishment. And so I was gonna apologize. I'll start by apologizing for one of the oldest memories I have, and it's really cheesy, but it's something that bothers me. It was the first time I was on a plane. I was with my dad and my stepmother and my sister and some friends of theirs, and we were going to Orlando to go to Disney World. And my sister was laughing, and I felt like she was laughing at me, and I was scared because I have a fear of heights, and I didn't really like planes because I'd never been on one. I actually had a dream when I was really young that I was told I was going to get to meet Carrie Fisher, whom I love, and then they told me that I would have to take a plane, and I said, never mind then. Anyway, so in reality, when we were going to Disney World, I got on the plane, and I was really scared, and maybe acting out a little bit because I didn't feel like I was getting any kind of comfort. And my sister was laughing, so I yelled at her to stop, that it's not funny. And then the friends of my dad's, his wife turned around and smiled at me, and I think she was actually trying to comfort me, but I was already in a state of panic and anger, and so I screamed at her too. And her husband lightly touched her on the hand and just told her, to let me be. And they were really nice people, and it's just something that I was never really proud of, even right after that. And I never got a chance to say I'm sorry. So I'm saying I'm sorry now, because I think that no matter how old it is, if, you have to apologize for things. You have to admit when you're wrong. And I know there are people out there who are going to laugh at that because they think I don't, but I really do. They just hate the fact that I'm usually right. But I do admit when I'm wrong. If I pass on bad information, I try to tell people that it's bad information. I try to find all the people I told it to and pass on the truth or the real information. Because, gossiping and lying and all this negative energy people keep throwing around, it's one of the biggest problems. It's not the movies, it's not music, it's not gay marriage, it's not gay adoption, it's our lack of respect for each other, in that, we don't care about anyone else but our own agenda at any given time. We don't attempt to question things, and we don't attempt to try to always get at the truth. So I try to do it. I'm not perfect. I don't do it all the time. So, all I can do is keep saying that as much as possible so that hopefully one day I can actually follow that to the T, but I try. We're going to see But I Could Do That by Yellow Tape Construction Company. They're the production company that did I Love My Dead Gay Son, which I was in. Ha ha ha. And they're having kind of a dance program tonight, and I'm going to record it with this very camera that I'm recording myself on now. And that's why I took a shower and brushed my teeth, because I had a reason to. I went out of the house. So we're going to leave in probably about 10 minutes. And I'm not sure how long this has been going on. But yeah, he's going to get here, my boyfriend, and we're going to jump in the truck and drive over there and watch a great show and enjoy ourselves, and then maybe get something to eat and come home and watch a little TV and go to bed. And I'll read my book. I'm reading V.C. Andrews' Music in the Night. I believe it's the 4th book of the Logan series. And V.C. Andrews is just fun eye candy. It's really easy to read and very dramatic, and horrible things happen to everyone. It's so awful. Incest and, all kinds of craziness that make you feel like your life is a lot better. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to end this now. I found my remote, so I don't have to reach around the camera anymore. Have a good night.